2.
Well, the mob was trying to disrupt the formal certification of Joe Biden's victory in the presidential election. Hawaii Congressman Ed Case was in D.C. last year during all the chaos. He joins us now to give us his perspective. Good morning, Congressman. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, a year ago today, you were there in D.C. Where were you exactly, and what do you remember?
I was in my office, like most members of Congress. Because of COVID, we weren't actually on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives, but we were watching. I was watching the debate. It was a serious and a solemn day. It was a day that we in Congress have honored for 232 years, when we have had the responsibility of certifying the results of a presidential election and the peaceful transfer of power, which is the hallmark of our democracy. And I was at my job of making sure that I understood what the arguments pro and con were, and had the responsibility to vote on those results. And I could tell at some point watching the debate that something was very, very wrong. At that point, I immediately started getting notifications on my phone, the emergency processes of the U.S. House of Representatives in the case of an emergency, to reach members that basically said shelter in place, close your doors, lock your doors, turn off your lights, don't say anything because you don't want to attract attention. And that's what I did. I hunkered down in my office. My concern was obviously for my colleagues who were actually in the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate, and for the Capitol Police who were defending the Capitol from a violent attack, not only on the Capitol, but on our democracy. Of course, at that point, I started to get a lot of calls from home to make sure that I was okay. And of course, you and other members of the media wanted to know what was going on. And that went on for 6 hours. My feelings were anger, frustration, disgust, embarrassment for our country. Imagine that this was being played out in the stage of the world, and our enemies were mocking us for it. And I knew that we had a lot of work to do on so many levels, but the first and foremost thing we had to do was to go on with our business. And 6 hours later, that's exactly what we did. We reconvened and finished our business, and that was an incredible positive for a very, very difficult day, which still resonates with us.
Yeah, it was a horrible act, but very incredible that the delegation was able to move forward. Now, a congressional committee is investigating the attack. What do you hope comes out of it?
I hope for two things, very simply. I hope for the truth, and I hope for accountability, full accountability. We cannot start to heal. We cannot start to learn the lessons of January 6th. We cannot start the path of recovery, which is still ongoing, until we know exactly what did happen. And unfortunately, tragically, in the last year, there have been numerous attempts to minimize this event, to somehow pretend that it was just, well, one other protest in American history. No, it wasn't just one other protest in American history. It was a conscious attack on the Capitol and on democracy. It was an attempt to disrupt our presidential elections and the transfer of power. It was also, there have been many, many attempts to confine the responsibility to those that actually did attack the Capitol, and they should be held accountable. But I think accountability probably flows beyond that. And until we face the truths of what actually happened on January 6th, we're not going to be able to move forward together. So that's number one. And then number two, as I've already said, once we know what the truth was and is, then full accountability has to be achieved, because otherwise we don't have any kind of real resolution.
Now, a lot of lawmakers have talked about receiving death threats. Still, property being damaged as well. I've heard of disturbing voicemails being left on other lawmakers nationally, and they say they do not feel safe. How do you feel?
Well, it's a tragic reality of our political discourse right now. And this is one of the lessons of January 6th, and that is that vigorous disagreements within our democracy are what democracy is about. People have a right to express themselves, but there are lines to be drawn. When you take it either as an elected official or other leader, or as a citizen of our country, whatever your status is, if you cross a line, and especially if you're an elected leader, if you cross a line between disagreement on policy and principle and belief over to that is a bad person and he or she needs to be somehow, affected physically or otherwise, that's the line that cannot be crossed. And that's the line that we are crossing now, and that is all too prevalent. And you're correct. Death threats and other threats against members of Congress are significantly on the rise over the last couple of years. I normally feel safe on my day-to-day business. I try not to let that affect my normal interaction with inside Congress and my colleagues clearly, but more importantly, back home where I want to have that personal contact, COVID permitting, with my constituents. And I don't want to always be looking over my shoulder, but I have to say that I am far more conscious of it than I was. I both formally in terms of the precautions that you should be taking on a normal day-to-day basis, warning signs to watch for, and just kind of informally in terms of, I guess, my antenna. I simply have to start to be a lot more vigilant from that perspective, whether I want to or not. And it's not just about me, it's about the people that are around me. It's about the constituents that are interacting with me. And so it's a tragic reality, and the way out of it is obviously to get that political discourse back to a point where somebody can stand in front of me and vigorously disagree with what I'm doing and tell me that I'm a jerk and, I need to clean up my act, or I'm going to get booted out of office. That's fine. But if it's a matter of feeling a direct threat, that is a concern. And I have had some threats that I have reported to the federal authorities, but far less than other colleagues of mine who are far more, polarizing, I suppose, in some ways.
It's very unfortunate that you've had to do that, Congressman, but you're right. People do have a right to express their opinion, but it's much different when you're actually threatening someone's life. Finally, moving on, how do we move on from this? Because the country is divided right now. What's your message to Hawaii residents on this one-year anniversary?
We need to recognize the reality of January 6th. The reality of January 6th is that our democracy is, in fact, fragile. We take our democracy for granted, that somehow it's going to go on forever and ever, no matter how vigorous the protest, no matter how violent the attacks on our institutions. No, that's not true. It doesn't just automatically happen. And I think President Lincoln said it well when he said, that the responsibility of democracy is the responsibility of each individual citizen in that democracy. It's not somebody else's responsibility to keep that democracy flame, lit and going forward. We all have a part in this, and I think we can start by, again, recognizing the proper limits of political debate and discourse, and by looking for opportunities to agree with each other. Can we, for example, still agree that we have a great country? I believe we have a great country. I think most of us believe that we have a great country. Now, if I can start there and you can start there, and you don't want me to be returned, to the U.S. Congress, but you and I can at least say and agree that we have a great country, then that's a start. And that's where we have to start, with what we have in common rather than what we don't have in common. And I think this is something that's not going to happen overnight. This is a deep disagreement in the ohana in our country, and like any other disagreements, there are steps you have to take to regain trust, to regain some confidence, so that you can, disagree with each other agreeably.
All right. Thank you so much for that message and for joining us this morning, Congressman Ed Case, and safe travels back to Capitol Hill.
Thank you very much.